Let's see what we have here. All right, try to get it right. Always cover up my cameras. I don't know how this is going to turn out. All right. Well, try it again. Try it another way. Okay, hold on a minute. I'll be right with you. All right. Now, praise the Lord. Finishing on this, talking about addiction. Whatever you eat, you feed your body. You possess your body with it. You drink. You feed your body. You quench your body's thirst with whatever you're drinking. And it feeds your body. It helps sculpt your mind. Whatever books, science, literature, good, bad, garbage, indifferent, television, radio, whatever you feed yourself helps sculpture your mind. Whatever it is. Again, whatever you drink, whatever you eat, whatever you smoke, whatever you snort, whatever you listen to, whatever you see, whatever you think upon, whatever you read, whatever atmosphere you're in, the people, the places, the things you're around, the more you're around it, the more addictive and more habitual and habit forming it is. And if it's something that you like, the way it tastes, whether the food or drink, what you listen to, what you feed your mind with, books, literature, studying, watching, listening to, hanging out with him, her, this, that, the other, going, people, places, and things, it sculptures your mind. It sculptures your mind. That's why the scripture says in Romans 12, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. So we all have addictive behaviors, things that we like, whether they're positive or negative, because people like things that are negative. That's how they can become addicted. They like it. You don't continue to eat, well, depending on your healthy awareness. I'll eat anything that's healthy. And I don't care if it's nasty. If it's healthy, I'll eat it. But now get into what I like. Of course, if I'll eat things that I don't like for healthiness, there are things that I may like that are not so healthy that I eat because I like it, not because it's healthy. We all do it on different levels. Now, I'm talking about addiction, habits, what you're a fan of, what you are drawn to, and what draws you, good and bad. But basically, I'm talking about the bad. There's no need talking about the good, because good stays good, right? But everything that you think is good is not good for you. So when you overdo things, as I've already said, that cause you psychological and others around you psychological or physiological damage, you're arguing all the time, you can't get along, there's a problem. And we'll get back to the relationship of male and females, or some examples that I may come up with, and maybe might use something that I've experienced myself. But I covered the man, and I don't know if I said the woman, because me as a man, I've experienced dealing with women, some that were addicts. I never dealt with a woman that wasn't strong mentally. Watch, it's going. Because a person is an addict doesn't mean that they're not strong. Because I've met some women that are brilliant in the world, just like men are. But they just become addicts. They might love weed. They might love a party. But I hardly never met women that didn't take care of business one way or the other, which made me as a man stronger. So if there wasn't a man there to make me stronger. There were women there that I looked at that would make me look embarrassing if I didn't push, no matter what they did negative. So you have to admire mothers that are substance abusers, not the ones that beat their children to death and crazy like that. And it's going to be a catch-22 in there. But the mothers that still make it for their child or children. And maybe because of certain circumstances in life, they become addicted to some type of drug. And they have used that drug to be productive in society, even though they still are an addict. And some men too. But just like men go into women's purses, the negative men, take their money, take the women's car keys, and don't want to pay no bills, you have women that go into the man's wallet, take the man's car, and do whatever they want to do. Come back, and personally, now this is just my personal peeve. I think a woman that's addicted to anything negative is worse than a man addicted to, because the only thing a woman can basically play with is her body. How much money can she make? How much money can she steal if she's not working, positive working, because they're always working. Anybody that's an addict is always working. Let me say that again. Anyone that's an addict, I'm talking about drugs, we're all addicts. We're all addicted to something. And I'm talking about the negative though now. Now I'm talking about that negative of drugs and alcohol. Any addict negative that's not productive with their own positive job, they are always working. They're always hustling, always looking for a job, always looking to steal, always looking to con. Their brain is always working for a con, because you can't walk in the store and just steal all the time. So you got to get that alcohol by paying for it. So you got to come up with ideas. And if they don't want to work a steady job, they have to hustle, use their mind for hustling, working. Hustling is another word for working. And they hustle, work, doing this, that, odd jobs, anything they have to do to make that money, negative or positive. And drugs is even, alcohol is bad. But getting to cocaine and heroin and marijuana, and I know others will say, oh, no, it's not worse. I say it's worse. But if a woman has to do it without a good, positive job, her body is always for sale. Even if she did work a positive job, because someone always wants her body. Now let's talk about the positive workers in society that are addicts, men and women, for a minute, in case I didn't cover it. That pay their own bills, so they can feel they can drink as much liquor if they want. So what? They can smoke as much pot, weed, marijuana, it's all the same thing. I'm just using the word that they want. So what? They can drop as many E-pills and other pills or Quaaludes, volumes, or whatever they use to make them feel better as they want. So what? Here's the so what. Yes, it's positive that they're paying the bills. Yes, it's positive that they're paying the bills. That's positive. Yes, it's positive there's food in the house and the bills are paid. Keep saying the bills, right? Because what I'm saying, to really shorten it, if you say the bills are paid, all the bills, whatever it is, food, clothing, whatever they have, car, is paid. But I'm going to get high. I'm going to get high. I'm going to get high. I'm going to get drunk. So what's wrong with that? Here it comes. It usually gives you a narcissistic, selfish, prideful, arrogant mind that you become so selfish. Even though you think you're not selfish because you're saying, I pay the bills. But you have to live. That's like a man if he's in the house and he's connected to a female, vice versa. Female, man has his own place. He meets a female, she lives with him. She don't pay no bills, and he say, I pay the bills. You was gonna pay the bills anyway. You live here. Vice versa. A woman has her own place. She meets a guy. She says, come and live with me. Something happens. I'm not talking about being negative, like I'm talking about him taking her money and going out and drug. But maybe, let's say he fell on hard times, or at the time he don't have a job. But she throws it up in his face. Vice versa. Man throws it up in a woman. This is my house. I pay the bills here. Man saying that. It's even rougher when it comes from a woman. Now, here comes a woman. This is my house. I don't want to talk like the woman. This is my house. I pay the bill here. You know how that feels to a man, and I can imagine how a woman could feel if a man brings her in with him, and she doesn't be able to meet dollar for dollar, dime for dime, nickel for nickel, and sometimes you can't. But why be bothered with a person like that if you're going to just embarrass it? This is my place. I pay the rent here. I pay the cost to be the boss. Man or woman, it sounds the same. A woman sounds just like a man. This is my place. It sounds even more mannish, almost coming from a woman, because a woman shouldn't be so aggressive and should be more feminine. Not feminist. Women don't want to hear that today. Women talk. Look at the television. Look at the addiction of how women have become, and I won't even say no ethnicity. Just look at how women could become all the women, and maybe some may be more dramatized and pushed to be more aggressive than others. They walk like men, talk like men, spit like men, drunk like men. Oh, come on. All I'm saying, every female becomes a woman, but every woman doesn't become a lady. A lady is of class. Every male becomes a man, but every man is not a gentleman. A gentleman is of class. Males, try to graduate to a gentleman. Have some class. Have some godliness. And if you don't even believe in God, although I'm not telling you not to believe in God, you need to get to God. You need to be born again. You need to be saved. But even if you're not, try to have some class. Every female, don't just be a woman. Try to have some class. Now, you that pay the cost to be the boss, that's your house. You the man, you the woman, you the king, you the queen. That's hurting yourself even though you don't know it with the addictions that you have. And you may be hurting those that are around you. Because your mind being addicted to the alcohol, the drug, the smoke in your head, the medicinal uses for whatever excuse you, all of it can be used as. There's alcohol in medicine. There's marijuana, THC in medicine. It's a medicinal. But how you use it can cause you to be very arrogant in your surrounding, very controlling, but yet out of control to some degree. Demonic, this is what I'm really saying, in control, but out of control, because God is not in control, so you're not righteous, really. Even though you and yourself, you are a self-righteous man, arrogant and narcissistic and mean a lot of times. There's always an exception to the rule. You are a narcissistic woman. It's about you. You're selfish. You're conceited. You rule. And you're like, no one can tell you anything because you the king, you the queen. You're conceited. And you think you see it all. You think when you drinking and you smoking and you snorting or whatever you do, you think you act like it's the Holy Ghost giving you revelation that you understand it all. There's nothing you don't know. But those are demons in your head. Demons ministering to your ears, your eyes, your mind, your imagination, your revelation of talk. Demons are controlling you, and I hope you understand witchcraft. You're being violated by demons and by the course of the demons of the air, just like COVID. You can't get away from it. If you like a fever, measles, all these things are contagious, but some people seem to escape them. But they haven't escaped them, they just have a stronger body for a stronger time. But when you keep on hitting something long enough, it beats it down just like a good boxer. He can take a lot of punches, but eventually his body gets beat down. Anyone, your lungs will be extra strong, but eventually they get beat down. Your liver, your kidneys are strong, but eventually they get beat down. Your nose is strong, but eventually it gets beat down. Your brain is strong, but eventually it gets beat down. So what am I saying? In short, in brief, to shorten this up. I'm saying, I didn't see the counter. That's what I was looking for. What am I saying in a nutshell? What I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, males and females, we need to get closer to the Lord. Because a lot of us are destroying our families. Addicted families cause messed up children. Messed up children causes messed up teenagers. Messed up teenagers usually become addicts at a young age. Sexually addictive, drug addictive, and when they grow and when they leave teenage, and they're only teenagers for what? 5 years, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, for 7 years. And they usually be messed up. And sometimes the addicts in the house, grandpa, grandma, father, mother, uncle, aunt. But we get blinded. Adults get blinded by, I'm grown. And you hear even, everybody wants to be grown. I'm grown. And that stubbornness, that witchcraft that jumps on, I'm grown. I do what I want to do. I pay the cost to be the boss. The more you work in that cycle, figure the minutes that you've been addicted. The hours, the days, the nights, the afternoons, the weeks, the months, the years. You get worse and worse and worse and don't even know it. It's not composing, it's sculpturing you. The addiction is sculpturing you. It's molding you. It's making you, let me put it another way, Satan is forming you. You're one of Satan's workers and don't even know it. Please, if there's anything in your life that's controlling you, this is why I talk this, because there's not many people telling us to come to Christ. Everything is go to the liquor store, do what you want as a grown man, a grown woman. But remember, as a grown man and grown woman, don't you want the best for yourself? And don't you want the best for the people around? You don't want to always be arguing and fussing and belligerent, do you? Always hostile. Can't really talk to me because your mind is so high. The only time you good when you high and drunk is when you by yourself. There's nobody. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. But you're not in the world alone. If you share a home, you're not in a home alone. So those demons are controlling you, and those demons that's attacking you and your addiction, attacking others. And maybe they become addicts too, a lot of times. A lot of times children become what their environments, just like you become. You know how somebody can say something, you don't even be thinking about Wendy's or McDonald's or Arby's or Macy's or Tiffany's or Ziffendale's or Nordstrom or Sam's Club or wherever you go, Piggly Wiggly, where you can go all across the world. The bank. You don't be thinking about, you could be thinking about something else. Women, man, woman, straight, gay, sex, music. You don't be thinking about it. But somebody say something, there it is, it's in your head. It's like they just said a suggestion. Spell. We're all subject to it because that's how they put us when they started us out in school. It's a programming. It's a program. So we're programmed. We're programmed. We were born. We're programmed. But as we practice being born again, now let me say something even about the addicts. Just because people in the church don't mean they're not addicts. They are some addicted to drugs. They're addicted to alcohol. All of it, sex. Preachers too. They may really try to do the right thing. And because they try to do the right thing, the devil's coming at them more. And you got people that, oh man, we just run the so-called church down. The so-called place where people supposed to be hearing the gospel. The preacher's no good. He's sticking his penis in everything. I don't believe in women preachers, but as a woman preacher, she's throwing her vagina around, or they just know that she's trying to be like a man. And no wonder we got so much homosexuality in the organized church, because the men and the women are competition. Women, instead of women being submissive like the Bible says, the women are like, we're not being submissive, and they want to be in leadership like the men. So it's a crossover. It's like the men are getting weaker because of the men. It's like the men have been blackmailed into letting the women in certain positions, because the women say, if you don't do what I want you to do, don't give me power, I'm going to tell you did this. Because women just about know all your business. They're secretaries. If they're in your house, they get the mail usually before you do. If they're around the children, they usually know the children's ins and outs before you do. A lot of men don't even know what's going on in their own house.